Stop, Lila. Don't push him again. Emma's scream tore through the living room as she lunged across the carpet. Her baby boy, Noah, lay face down, tiny arms twitching in frustration. His twin sister sat beside him, hands still pressed against the back of his head, calm and silent. Emma yanked Noah up, clutching him to her chest. "You can't keep doing this," she whispered, voice trembling. The little girl just blinked, her pink bow slipping sideways over her forehead, expression unreadable. From the couch, Jake glanced up from his phone, unfazed. "Relax, Em. They're babies. She's just playing." "Playing?" Emma snapped. She shoves his face into the rug every time he tries to crawl. Jake shrugged. "Maybe she's jealous. You hold him more. She's just acting out." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "That's not acting out. That's—" She stopped herself, clutching Noah tighter. He whimpered softly, his small fingers gripping her shirt. Lila stared, unblinking, her palms still outstretched as if ready to strike again. By afternoon, it happened twice more. Every time Noah's knees shuffled forward, Lila darted toward him, knocking him flat. Emma's nerves burned raw. "Jake, she's doing it again." He stepped out of the kitchen, a towel over his shoulder. "Em, for God's sake, they're toddlers. You're overreacting." "No, I'm not," Emma said through clenched teeth. She waits, watches, then stops him like she knows something. Jake's jaw tightened. "You're tired. Maybe take a break." That night, the twins lay side by side on the blanket by the bed. Emma watched them, heart aching with confusion and dread. Noah's eyes fluttered as he tried again to lift himself. "You can do it, baby," she whispered, voice soft, hopeful. But Lila moved first. Her small hand pressed hard against his head. This time there was no cry, no sound at all. "Noah!" Emma's scream split the silence. She snatched him up, shaking, tears spilling as she pressed her ear to his lips. Nothing. Then a faint gasp. Another. His chest rose weakly. Relief crashed over her like a wave. Jake ran in, face pale for the first time. "Is he?" "He's breathing," Emma sobbed. "But barely." She turned to Lila, voice raw. "Why do you keep doing this to him?" The little girl's hand was still raised in the air, eyes wide and eerily calm. It wasn't anger. It wasn't jealousy. It was something else, something deliberate. Emma shivered. "She doesn't even look sorry," she whispered. Jake exhaled, rubbing his temples. "She's a baby, Emma. You're seeing things. I'm seeing my son nearly stop breathing every time she's near him." They didn't speak again that night. Emma stayed awake, sitting between the cribs, watching both babies breathe in the dim glow of the nightlight. When dawn came, her decision was made. "I'm taking her to my mom's," she said flatly, buckling Lila into her car seat. "Maybe a few days apart will help." Jake didn't argue. Maybe it's for the best. The drive was quiet until halfway down the road when Emma heard it, the faint, choking rattle from the back seat. She swerved into the nearest shoulder, heart pounding, twisting to look. Noah's lips were blue. "God, no. No," she screamed, unbuckling his seatbelt, trying to wake him. His tiny chest barely moved. She floored the gas, racing to the hospital, tears blurring her vision. The car skidded into the ER bay, nurses rushing forward. Within seconds, Noah was on a stretcher, surrounded by medical staff. Minutes felt like hours until a doctor finally approached, face grave yet gentle. "Mrs. Carter," he said softly, "your son's been struggling to breathe because of a small airway blockage. It's likely been happening for a while." Brief pauses, shallow breaths. "That might be why he kept collapsing." Emma blinked, shaking. But she kept pushing him down. Every time he tried to crawl. The doctor nodded slowly. "She may have been noticing something you couldn't. Babies sense distress in ways adults don't. She might have been reacting, keeping him from suffocating when his airway closed." Emma's knees gave out. She sank to the floor, sobbing, hands over her mouth. Jake knelt beside her, eyes wet. "She wasn't hurting him," Emma whispered. "She was saving him." When they brought Lila in, the little girl reached out from her stroller, her small hand brushing Noah's blanket. His chest rose, stronger this time. The monitors steadied. Emma watched through tears as her daughter's calm eyes met hers. No malice, no confusion, just quiet knowing. At first, Emma thought the sound was just one of the toys rattling in the back seat. Then she caught sight of the mirror, and her heart stopped. Noah's face was crimson, his tiny chest rising and falling in frantic jerks. His mouth opened and closed like a fish, but no air came. Noah! Emma's scream ripped through the car. She swerved hard toward the shoulder, tires screeching. In seconds, she was out, throwing open the back door. Her hands trembled as she fought with the car seat straps. Lila sat quietly beside him, eyes wide, watching. No crying, no fear, just that same strange calm she'd had every time before. Emma yanked Noah free, clutching him against her chest. Breathe, baby, breathe. She patted his back, her voice cracking. His tiny head fell limply against her shoulder, breath shallow and uneven. Oh God, no, 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 please. She didn't think, didn't hesitate. She slammed the door, leapt back into the driver's seat, and hit the gas. The car tore down the road, horn blaring, her tears blinding her as she shouted at red lights, praying for green ones. Beside her, Lila stayed eerily still, eyes fixed on her brother. Her small hand reached out, fingers trembling in midair, as if she wanted to touch him, comfort him, through the space between their seats. At the hospital entrance, Emma skidded to a stop. She ran inside screaming for help, clutching Noah's limp body. Nurses rushed forward, their voices overlapping in a blur of orders and codes she couldn't understand. Hands pulled Noah from her arms and disappeared behind curtains. Emma collapsed against the cold wall, shaking so hard her teeth chattered. It's my fault, she sobbed. I should have seen it. I should have known. Jake burst through the doors minutes later, panic etched across his face. Emma, what happened? She looked up, eyes wild. He couldn't breathe. He just stopped. She tried to stop him, Jake. All this time, she was trying to stop him. Jake stared, confusion and fear twisting together. What do you mean she tried to stop him? Emma covered her face. Lila, every time he tried to crawl, she pushed him down. I thought she was being cruel. But she wasn't. She was, oh God, she was trying to help him. 2 agonizing hours passed before a doctor finally approached, clipboard in hand, his expression grave but gentle. Mr. and Mrs. Carter, he said softly, your son is stable now. He's breathing on his own. Emma's knees nearly gave out. Oh, thank God. What happened to him? The doctor sighed. Your son has a condition, a structural issue in his chest that narrows his airway when he pushes himself up. It explains why he struggles when he tries to crawl. Every time he lifted his body, his airway was closing. Jake blinked, stunned. So when she pushed him, the doctor nodded. She might have saved him. If he had kept lifting himself, he could have gone into full respiratory failure. It seems someone noticed before you did. Emma pressed her hand to her mouth, tears streaming freely now. Every scream, every fight, every moment she doubted her daughter came crashing down on her. She had been ready to send Lila away, ready to separate them, because she thought her little girl was dangerous. But the truth shattered her heart. Jake's voice broke as he whispered. We blamed her. We yelled. We almost punished her for protecting him. Hours later, when Noah was finally resting in a small crib beside the hospital bed, Emma sat on the edge, her hands still shaking. She lifted Lila from her stroller and placed her gently beside her brother. The little girl crawled forward, her face solemn. Without a word, she reached out and placed her tiny hand on Noah's head, just like she always had. This time, Emma didn't pull her away. She just watched, tears slipping down her cheeks. She knew. Emma whispered, gripping Jake's hand. All this time, she knew before we did. The room fell silent except for the steady rhythm of Noah's breathing. His chest rose and fell, calm now, peaceful. Lila's hand stayed on his head, a quiet guardian in pink pajamas. Emma leaned into Jake, her voice breaking. She's his protector, his twin, his lifeline. We almost tore them apart when she was the only one keeping him alive. Jake wrapped his arm around her shoulders, eyes glassy. We'll never doubt her again. For the first time in days, Emma cried not from fear, but from gratitude. She watched their twins breathe in unison, and in that still, sacred moment, she understood. Sometimes love doesn't look gentle. Sometimes it looks like instinct, fierce, wordless, and wise beyond understanding.